hold on. Before we even hop into anything, I just want to start with this TikTok. Just listen.
You guys, she's been talking about this
Just
TikTok
listen.
all day long.
Just listen.
It's worth it.
Hey, if it comes, let it. If it goes, let it. You guys to be happy. Let's go. Hey.
It's the best TikTok. It's my favorite TikTok right now. I think it's such a cute little TikTok, but also such an important message. And I showed you this morning when we were walking to get coffee, and you were like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
It's as simple as that.
It do be that simple.
I watched Soul.
Oh, yeah.
I
Oh, my
watched
gosh.
Soul,
What do you think? We
and-
haven't talked about it, actually. Since you watched it,
No,
we've
we
not
haven't.
talked about it.
This is great.
Talk to me.
God, it really you really just have to start simplifying life.
Yep.
And not and this is coming from someone who overthinks absolutely everything.
Mm-hmm.
What color socks to put on that day. Like, just simplify everything and you will find the happiness in the little things. And it's, I don't know, it was just like a great way to kind of bring people down to earth.
Absolutely. I think we focus so much on what our, we're conditioned from such a young age. Like, what are your goals? What milestones do you need to hit? You always hear like life milestones, which are important. I think it's good to have those kind of big peaks to look forward to work towards, to fulfill you. But it doesn't mean ignore the little things in between.
Right.
Because
those are just as big.
Right. I mean, it's the climb. Like, Miley was right. Like, it's literally about the journey of getting
not
there.
the destination.
Because then once you're there, you're like,
what else?
well, I'm here. Like,
And I forgot all that cool shit that I left behind.
right. Like, all the growth
Yeah.
rather than just like the end point. So,
Yeah. No, I loved it.
oh, good. I'm so glad you liked it. I think maybe I shouldn't say, actually. We'll talk about it later because I don't want to give spoilers, but everybody go watch it so we can talk about it.
Oh,
Okay,
it's
we'll
so
just leave
good.
you with that. It's so good, but we will talk about it after this.
But I didn't watch it alone. I had a friend over.
He did.
His name is Disco. His government given name is Disco.
Government issued name.
Yeah, it was fun. How nervous was I?
You were...
I was nervous because I haven't had any interaction with anyone besides
Right.
you and Leanna for
Right.
the past. And I was like, I just don't remember how to socialize.
You weren't that... how do I say this? Like, the type of nervous you were was just like... You didn't need to be like that. Like, you were talking... Like,
No, it was all in my head.
yes. But once he got there, you were totally fine. Like,
of course.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was such like a girl moment. I remember we were like, Leanna and I were like getting her ready, like doing her makeup. Like, does this look okay? Like, that was such a cute moment for me. Like,
Yeah.
looking at that, I was like, oh, we look so cute. Like, that was cute.
Yeah, it was fun. It was nice. Nothing happened.
Nothing happened physically, but like,
We held hands.
That's actually so cute.
Yeah.
What do you think about the situation now? If you've been listening for a while, you know the story about Disco. He's this long story of just like, what is it? What is this man's intentions? What is he even trying to say sometimes when he's texting you? Like, what the hell is up?
Still a big question mark, to be honest.
You didn't get any clarity? Do you feel like you got to know him better? We'll start there.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
good.
It not justified. It like
Validated?
So yeah, it solidified
Okay.
my thoughts on his to a very like surface level extent, because obviously I haven't gotten to know him deeply
fully,
yet.
yeah.
His sense of humor.
Okay.
And kind of just like he just says what is on his mind.
Yeah.
And I respect that.
Me too.
And he's consistent, which
That's good.
is a good sign.
It's not like you're like, oh, who am I getting today? Like, he's not like moody.
right.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
No, he's cool. I had a good time. He's funny.
Yay.
And he's passionate about music, which is like a big thing
He's
for me.
in music, right?
Yes.
But not as a musician. He's in like the business
side of it.
Yeah.
And like here we were watching obviously Soul, and just like hearing him talk like a little bit about the music was really cool.
Yay.
Yeah.
It's always so great to see your person like talk about their passion.
Passions. Oh, that's
Seeing anybody.
that's like a big turn on for me.
Me too. Your person or even just any other human. Seeing a human talk about their passions and like seeing the light in their eyes and how excited they get, it shows more than just what their passion is. It shows their potential. It shows
like how
what
it's vulnerable. It's a very like
absolutely.
vulnerable act talking about your passions.
Because you can be judged. You can be judged for the thing you love the most,
Right.
and that's the last thing you want. But you still do it because you're so passionate. You're still going to talk about it.
Exactly. No, it was really cool.
Yay!
Yeah, it was weird, like having that social interaction. But I mean, we were safe about it. We both got tested.
Oh yeah, we stay getting tested. By the way,
Yeah.
guys.
So I don't know. It was cool. It was like I dipped my toe in socializing.
Oh my God.
It was fun. I'll probably see him again.
Good.
I would like to.
Hit him up.
We have kind of something in the
Something
works.
planned? Oh yeah, duh. Okay, I knew about that. What do you think the acceptable time frame of hitting somebody up after the first time you hang out is? I know some people are like, I'm gonna wait till he hits me, or like, what
I
do you
don't
think?
think there's an unacceptable. He texted me when he got home, and he said, "Thanks for having me over." And this is kind of how we've always texted. We always just like continue, like we never like stop the conversation
and then start it like, hey, what's up?
Exactly. It's always like, I haven't responded in a couple days, but like I'll respond to what he said last.
Yep.
And then we'll pick up, where we left off.
Yeah.
So yeah, he texted me when he got home, and then he texted me again the next morning, and it was just kind of,
yeah.
I don't know, that kind of stuff doesn't bother me though. And I'm also I don't think there's an unacceptable.
Right. I also feel like that's kind of when you get into adult dating.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter as much. It's just like, we're fucking adults.
No
like if I want to see you again, I'm going to tell you,
message.
yes.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I saw a TikTok today that was like, I mean, this doesn't necessarily apply to you in disco, but it was like, why are you so afraid to text him? He's literally seen you naked. Yes. I was like, damn, like that's so true.
Yes.
Like after you've already literally had like a hookup with somebody, you're still like nervous to text them. It's like, babe, you were already vulnerable with them.
That does go away though.
What?
The like being scared to text someone.
Oh, totally.
Like, and
yeah.
I always like notice when I bring this up because like I kind of hit a point with an old Friends with Benefits where like that I'm so comfortable around the guy now, and like that nervousness goes away, where it's like I FaceTime him when I'm like looking super booty hurt.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like that goes away.
Yep. No, that does go away, but I like it. I like being nervous to talk to people.
Really?
Yeah.
I like the comfort after.
I do too, but I think there's something to admire about the giddiness that you get, because I think it like tickles your inner child.
True.
Because you're like you're new thing, new change. Like I get to learn something about somebody new. Like I think the beginning of things is so amazing, and that's a very
It's literally like the honeymoon stage.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a very new kind of perspective I'm getting, is finally being okay. Because like right after a breakup, you're like, I have to go relearn someone's whole fucking life story, and I have to go retell someone else
That's the fun part.
But now I'm like, let's fucking go. Like,
yeah,
you're
That's
right.
literally the journey we're talking about.
Yes, exactly.
That you should admire.
But right after the breakup, I was like, ugh, like
It is a lot of
damn it,
work.
like this, all of this for what? For what? But
for an experience.
Yeah.
And
no, I see that now for sure.
learning lessons and
and so much more. Okay, we're rambling. Let's get into song of the day. My song of the day, and I think it's all of your guys' song of the day. It's everywhere right now. Driver's License by Olivia Rodrigo.
Oh.
This song is breaking the internet right now, as we all know. Everybody is obsessed with like
really
the drama
sad.
behind it. It is so sad, but I'm not necessarily like into the drama behind it, because it's not even drama to me. It's just kind of like the story. It's taking the narrative of the song and putting it into real people, which I guess you don't always get that when you hear songs, and the fact that we know what the song's about, it's kind of cool to pair it with it.
And we have like people to associate it to.
Right. Which is cool, whatever. But I'm really liking the creativity that people are getting on TikTok, and they're doing the song but the guy's point of view,
yes,
or the song but the blonde girl's point of view.
Yeah, I've been loving seeing those.
Oh my god, I'm a
No,
wreck.
it's heavy.
It's so heavy. But there's also something so innocent about it because she's talking about her driver's license. So you're like, oh, you're hella young. I think she's like 17.
She's 7, yeah.
So there's like that innocence where I can listen and feel the song from 17-year-old me going through my breakup, but then I can also hear it now, 25-year-old me.
Well,
like,
and I was gonna say that song. I feel like I listened to that song and I felt like I've been in each of those perspectives.
right.
So you can relate to like every corner of the song.
Yes, absolutely. Both like literally, or you could put it into your own term. Like that.
Yep.
It's so good. Her voice is so beautiful.
Oh yeah.
I love it so much. I'm not going to sit and talk about the drama. If you know, you know, but it does involve Sabrina Carpenter being the blonde girl. And I was watching some on YouTube, like I think it was like British Vogue did like a tour of her house or something. And this was like a few years ago. The opening scene of her tour is her in her backyard shooting a hoop, and she's like, "What's up, guys? This is Zac Efron, and this is High School Musical 1." And I thought that was weird because Olivia, I think she acts in the like High School Musical reboot.
Yes.
So it was kind of this weird like
full
foreshadowing
circle.
type of thing because it was a few years
Whoa.
ago. Yeah, I thought that was weird.
That's crazy.
Yeah. What's your song of the day?
Okay, my song of the day is my brother got me the Commodores on vinyl.
I thought
for
this
Christmas.
was the name of the song for a sec. I was like, where's this going?
No. My brother got me the Commodores on vinyl, which is one
Amazing.
of my favorite old bands. Easy by the Commodores.
Hell yeah. Yay. We'll slap that right on the playlist. If you guys don't know already, we do have a playlist on Spotify and Apple Music. It's all of our songs of the week put together. It's an amazing playlist. Check it out. Just search Oddvice favorite songs and it should pop right up.
It's a good one. We listen to it on the way here. I say this every time,
But we do. We genuinely do. Just saying. Okay, so we're going to get into the whole portion where we read all your guys' amazing responses. There's so
We
many
got
good ones
so
this
many
week.
good
Like,
ones.
I knew it was going to be a good week, but like these are so good. But before we get into that, I wrote down a few things. I wrote down 2. I think you wrote down like 3. A few topics that we realized we didn't touch on last week, and they were also recurring things that you guys were asking about. So instead of reading like all of the same question from several people, we kind of just want to answer it all in one,
Right.
or just address the topic, if you will. One that I saw a lot that a lot of people were asking for advice on was low sex drive. We totally didn't touch on this at all. It's just low sex drive in general. What do you do about it? How do you get past it? I know a lot of people struggle with this with like the birth control they're on. A lot of people struggle with this just because their confidence in bed, mentally, or they just go through phases where you might just not want it. You know, your head's in so many other places. There's so many reasons why you can have low sex drive, but I feel like I don't want anybody to beat themselves up about that. The most common concern I saw was just like, I don't know why. I just have low sex drive. And what I wanted to say to that was, it's hard to say why you have it. Like I said, if it's the birth control or whatever, but generally speaking, I think masturbation can help just spark.
Yep.
I think low sex drive can come with just not knowing what's going to drive you.
Yeah.
Like how to get there.
Play around,
Figure it out. And I think once you're more comfortable with knowing what you like, you will then naturally get more comfortable with your partner.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say foreplay.
Yep. Oh, that too. Yes.
Yeah.
That's even like another topic we didn't touch on.
Right.
At all.
If you want to explore more with your partner in general, and like to heighten your guys' sex drive.
Dick drive. Tech.
Tech, I'm dead. Sex drive together. Foreplay is a big one.
Yes. I feel like foreplay was like not as prominent in my sex life when I was younger. It was just all about like get to it, get to the nasty. But then like as you get older, you start realizing how essential it is, as you just said.
Very underrated.
Very underrated. Very much necessary and very much part of the crescendo.
Right.
The crescendo meaning the orgasm.
The whole play.
The whole play. You have something about orgasms, right?
Faking
Faking them. Did you see a lot of entries about it?
I saw one on one
entree. $9.99.
I can't talk. 1 or 2.
Yeah. It's a thing.
It's a thing.
Women do it.
And
I know it's like men, it's not as easy to fake, but a lot of women fake it. I've faked several.
And I feel like a lot of the time men in general are like, oh, she faked it. Like it had something to do with me.
Yeah.
But like a lot of the time, okay, so I was hooking up with this guy who, like he got off on me getting off.
Okay.
So
you weren't even having sex at this point. Was you just watching you? Is that what you mean?
No.
You just mean in general.
In general. So
if
like
he knows you're enjoying it.
Yes. If he knew I was feeling good, then like it would make him feel better.
Right.
So a lot of the times I would fake an orgasm and like it would make him feel better. So it was like I was doing a good deed. You know what I mean?
Were you though?
I think so. I mean,
at the sake of your enjoyment?
No, because it takes a lot for me to. It does.
No, I totally. I mean, okay, where my mind just went, I just have to go there, otherwise I'm gonna get distracted. That kind of trickles into like size. We've talked about this before. Like, I can get off with penetration.
I can't.
You said you need more than penetration.
Yeah.
Like. Not, and that's very common.
Yeah.
It's very uncommon to be able to get off from just penetration. I'm sure it just has to do with like the shape of your canal or whatever it must be.
Yeah, no, penetration does absolutely nothing for me.
So you're saying it takes a little bit more to get you off,
or other. I wouldn't necessarily say more.
just like different.
Yeah, something different
than the traditional route.
Right.
Which normalize that. That's why we're bringing it up, because it's very
everyone's
normal.
body is different.
So different. Whatever you hear your friends say, like. I feel like it's so easy to, if you're, new in your sex life, whatever, you're kind of like, wait, that doesn't work for me. And you kind of internalize it. You're like, is there something wrong with me?
Yeah.
Right. Which, like, we've even had those moments, like when we were younger, if you've talked about things and I'm like, shit, what the hell? But like now we can totally verbalize it.
Right.
It's about just having the confidence that like, oh, our bodies are just different. Your person's different than my person. It takes different things to get off. And I think there's nothing wrong with that.
And there's nothing wrong with faking an orgasm.
There's nothing wrong with it, but like, I also feel like it just like has trickled into like a societal norm.
Is that bad?
It's not bad, but like, why? Because we don't want to hurt our man's feelings. That sucks.
Not necessarily.
What do you think then?
I mean, it doesn't, my intent wasn't to like hurt or to not hurt his feelings. It was to make him feel better.
Which there's nothing wrong with that, but why, like, what about you?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because then if that becomes a habit, then it's just this one track transaction every time. Once in a while, sure, it does make you feel better. That's fine. But like, what about when you actually want it, That, like, you might, we don't need to answer that, but that's where I'm just like,
it needs to be like a two-way street.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
That's all I'm saying.
I see what you're saying.
There's nothing wrong with it, but like, if you're doing it every time, maybe verbalize something. Maybe just switch something up. Maybe tell them what you want instead so you can get there so you don't always have to fake it. Like,
right.
It's all about the balance at that point. That's all I'm saying.
You're right.
Next on our topic, anal.
No, we didn't talk about size.
Oh. Okay, size. Go ahead. I know you have a really good motto for this that you say a lot.
It's all about the motion in the ocean.
Damn straight. It really is.
It's size. Okay. It's not all about size. Size matters to an extent, but
sure.
I think if you have the swag in bed and you can deliver with the motion in the ocean.
If you have the swag in bed.
That'll do the trick.
I don't want any swag in bed. It's not 2008. It's 2001.
Oh my God, I'm dying.
You're right, though. Yes, it is the motion of the ocean. I fully agree with that. And to any men listening, remember that. Like, I feel
if you have moves, it's not about size at that point.
No, it's not. Or if you just have knowledge of like women anatomy too.
Right.
One time, you know what I'm talking about. One time I hooked up, or I was hooking up it because as you know, I've only had one night stand. I was collectively, not that's the wrong word, regularly hooking up with somebody in the medical field, and he knew about the body.
Makes all the difference.
So he just knew what to do.
Yeah.
It was
He knew what to do more than what you knew what to do
at that time.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I remember walking away from our first time having sex being like, what?
I love
How
when
did that
someone
happen?
else can teach me something.
About my own body.
Right.
Very cool.
You got
very
a lot of
special,
points at that point.
And very cool on like a human level. Like another human taught
Yeah.
you something about your existence. Like, sick.
Dope.
Really cool. You want to talk
Yeah.
about anal?
Sure.
I just keep saying it, so I feel like people are like, what are they going to say? We didn't touch on that at all. There's not much to touch on, but I just felt like we should say it. Just do it if you want to.
Yeah.
I feel like so many people are like, no, don't do it. Do not. I'm like, do it if you want to.
Yeah. Let's not get too into this because I actually have a good entry.
Oh, about anal?
Should we hop in?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Sure. Should we hop in?
Into the ball.
Ew. Okay.
I'm so gross. I'm so sorry.
Let me find her.
By the way, I just ordered a lot of really cool socks on the way here. Sock shopping was weird for me because I don't usually wear socks. So, yeah, but get ready for some weird-ass socks that I just bought. I just spent $100 on really weird socks.
You spent $100 on socks?
I bought a lot. I don't own any socks. These are yours. Like, I don't own socks. I just don't wear them normally.
God, you stress me out sometimes. Okay.
Ow.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, I love the podcast so far, and I feel like I have found great girlfriends within you guys when I need them the most. I want to preface this story by saying I'm not kink shaming in any way. It's just the fact that I had never met this guy in my life and the way he went about the whole thing. ... I had just gotten out of my first real relationship of 2+ years because he had cheated on me and manipulated me the whole time. I was working at Hooters at the time, and my coworkers had gassed me up to get on Tinder, so I did. Obviously, I matched with this guy who was so unbelievably hot, I had no idea why he swiped on me, but whatever. We ended up meeting up one night after I got off of a long shift. Within seconds of me sitting down on the bed, he turned over and started sucking my face off. I was like, okay, and just went with it, since I never had sex with anyone other than my ex before. While we were having sex, he just started moaning so high-pitched you would have thought it was me making those sounds. And all of a sudden, he started begging me to play with his asshole. Again, not king shaming, I'm honestly down to try anything, but he was begging and pleading as if he were asking me to save him from falling off a cliff. I had no idea how to say no, so I just clicked my acrylics together and said, clink, clink, I can't, sorry.
Oh my God.
So awkward, but he just kept begging and pleading and told me I didn't have to use my hands. I was so not down to do that with someone I had just met, so I just faked the loudest, most mind-blowing orgasm I could muster and ran. Now I see him around campus and in the area all the time, and he clearly remembers me, but I don't think he knows why. I cannot wait to move out of this town, LOL.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. To be begged like that,
That's intense.
it's intense and it's discouraging.
right. Was he not reading that she wasn't into it either? Like
Right.
that's where I'd be like, how are you not seeing that I don't want to do this?
Yes.
And I'd be really uncomfortable.
Oh, I would be so uncomfortable.
Yeah. That's where faking an orgasm, you gotta
Right.
do it. Hell yeah. 100%. I'm glad you got out of that.
Yeah, so just like do it if you want to do it, but don't if you don't.
No.
And I mean, you made it as clear as possible, and that's on him for being so pushy, but like
yeah.
make it clear that you don't want to do something, and
Yeah.
hopefully they'll oblige.
I'm dead this.
I can't.
Sorry. Mr. Krabs be like, I'm sorry.
That reminds me of Enrique's story.
Oh my gosh. I can't just tell this story without his permission, but Enrique has the best story about acrylic nails, and that's all I'm saying. So every time like we FaceTime and he sees them, he's like, those are nice. I'm like, yeah. Okay, this one is intense. Hi girls, love you both tons. You can say my name, I'll own this shit, LeMayo.
Shit.
Sammy. This is Sammy. I wanted to share probably the most mortifying one-night stand I've ever personally heard of. In college, I was hooking up fairly regularly with a guy who didn't go to my school but lived in town. We call them townies.
That's funny.
He was in the army and was truly hot as fuck. He would regularly come to my dorm and stay the night, and we would fuck. One night, he came over. I had finished my period 3 days. 3 days before. And after we finished, he went out to smoke a cigarette. Gross. I know. I hated it. While he was gone, I realized that I was cramping really bad, and I felt something... wet. Turns out I bled all over my sheets, into my mattress pad, and when I stood up out of bed, blood was literally running down my legs. I ended up going to the hospital where my mom met me, and then I had to explain to her and the doctor why I was profusely bleeding from my vagina. Shit was not only nasty, but I was hospitalized for 2 nights because the bleeding would not stop. It was some good dick, and we still hooked up after that, but he actually ripped the lining of my cervix, and I had short-term damage done. Now, a few years later, I have to go see my gyno every 6 months to make sure things are still okay. Good dick, but talk about embarrassing and fucking painful. Love you both and the pod. You guys are like the big sisters I've never had but always wanted.
Shit.
Yeah. Ripped the cervix. That's crazy.
Ow.
That's absolutely insane. I can imagine how much pain you were in, but I love your attitude about it now.
Yeah, you're like, hey, it was good dick though.
Right? It was worth it. And love that you're going to your gyno every 6 months. I think that's good regardless. You should go once a year. This is your reminder if you need to
make that appointment.
You need to go to the gyno. Isn't it like after age 18 or after you're sexually active, whichever one comes first.
Right.
You go to the gyno every year. Once a year. Go. It's not as bad as you think. I'm just saying it is not as bad as you think. It's scarier in the movies. Like it's really not that bad. On that note, I also wanted to touch on, because I forgot to say at the beginning, a quick note, very important though, STDs. We didn't touch on that on such a sexual episode, and that's totally our bad. Get tested.
Be as safe as possible.
Yep. If you have an STD, I know it's going to be embarrassing, but you do need to contact the last person you were with. Let them know out of respect for their health,
future partners.
Absolutely. Just be transparent with it. I promise anybody in your path is more thankful that you're transparent rather than you trying to hide it.
Right.
It's just
because in the end, there's no way to hide it.
Absolutely. Go get tested. That was my story.
God, that's crazy. Ouch. 2 days.
I know.
Wait. Imagine, like, the guy thinking, wow, I put a bitch in the hospital for 2 days.
Oh, gosh. I would love to hear his perspective of it.
Yeah.
Like, he's probably like, damn. Like, he still tells the story. Dick. Damn, you're so right.
I put someone in the hospital for 2 days. What a flex.
He'll say that to the grave.
To the grave. He says that?
When he's drunk. He's really drunk. He
all the time.
Always
That's his party
brings it
trick.
up. Yep. He's like, I ran into this one time. Like, he says it every time. It gets annoying.
God, that's good. Hi, guys. Please keep this anon. But first, I just wanted to thank you for creating content that is so centered around self-growth, confidence, owning who you are. It seems like that's what a lot of creators want to project, but it's not always as genuine and easy to understand as you guys make it. On to my question. I recently hooked up with a guy that ended up getting whiskey dick when I was giving him a blowjob. He was so embarrassed that he couldn't finish, and of course I felt really bad, but me being the self-deprecating person I am, I couldn't help but think I did something wrong. Maybe I just don't know enough about whiskey dick or whatever, but I want to know how to respond if and when it happens again in the future. Have you guys gone through something similar? If so, what do you What do you do? How do you react? Love you guys so much. Yes.
I have dealt with whiskey so many times, you guys. Is that why you chose this? Yeah. Fuck you.
Not in a bad way. I feel like you got the experience.
Thank you.
Share your knowledge.
Thank you so much. It's an L. It's an L. You just kind of have to take it.
It's an L for him.
Sure. I just mean just let it go and go to bed.
Right.
That's more
but
what
it's not your fault.
No. Oh my God. It's
not your fault.
It is nobody's fault.
It's no one's fault.
I understand the kind of discouragement you feel when you're on the other end of it. Because it's like, damn, like you were obviously hell of in the mood. Obviously, both of you have been drinking. Like, you're excited and then nothing can happen. but it's not you. It's
not you.
yeah. That's
And don't be afraid to like. I've said, okay, my turn then. Like,
yeah.
don't be afraid to switch it up. Like, just because he can't perform doesn't mean you
right.
can't get yours.
Just because you can't have sex doesn't mean like he could still like go down on you or something, which that is a good alternative to it too. But
yeah,
generally speaking, you do kind of like, there's not much you can do. You can wait, but I feel you on that.
Yeah, but it's not your fault.
No. Oh my gosh, no. Oh, I'm looking at you like, what's up? Okay, next one. Hi guys, I love your podcast. I'm a used to be hoe. I'm happily engaged now, but I have a lot to say about this podcast. One, I think Kristen made me realize I have IBS. I never related to someone so hard on the going out to eat thing. Two, most of my body count are one-night stands, which means I have a lot of stories, LOL. I decided to go with my most cringy one that actually happened when me and my then boyfriend, now fiance, broke up for a little bit. I decided it would be the best idea to sleep with one of my old bosses. I don't know how I pulled that off, but here we are. Anyway, it was my birthday, and he came over after I'd gone out with my family and got absolutely trashed on margaritas. He helped me build my new dresser, and we laid down to watch a movie, and since he wasn't making the move, I decided to. Go you.
Yeah.
So we started making out and, doing the damn thing, and I told him I didn't like getting eaten out. Well, apparently he didn't care and proceeded to eat me out anyway, and in the middle of it, sorry, I'm laughing, he looked up at me and said in the creepiest tone ever, "Happy birthday, Brittany."
Ew!
And I swear to goodness, I will never hear that phrase the same again. So after we finished, I thought maybe a second time will be better. Spoiler alert, I was wrong. This guy was talking so much that I had to cover his mouth and tell him to shut the fuck up. And he thought I was being sexy when in actuality. Whoops. Actuality. I was just annoyed and being bitchy. After all the disaster, I was ready for bed and to never speak to this guy again. So I thought turning the opposite way of him and not responding would give off the vibe that I want him to leave, but I guess not. He talked until 3 a.m. and then left at 4. He tried to kiss me goodbye, but I shoved my face in the pillow so far I think I would have died if he stayed 2 seconds longer than he did. Sorry for the long-ass story, but I had to give every detail. Last thing I have to say is advice or oddvice for anybody trying to take someone home or just flirt successfully. Be bold and have confidence. Even if you don't have confidence, fake it till you make it, because I swear it works. When I was single, I initiated every conversation I had with the men I ended up going home with at the end of the night. Come up with anything to talk about, and I'm sure they will engage. Happy podcasting.
Great advice.
Great advice. Fake it till you make it.
Also, the thought of someone in your bed that you don't want there, not only that, but continuously talking is actually my worst nightmare.
It's not just their presence, it's they're filling up the silence in which
they're affecting all senses at that point.
You smell them. You can probably still taste them. You can hear them. You can see them. What's the next one?
You can touch them.
You can touch them.
You can feel them. Same thing.
Is that all the
senses?
senses?
All at 5.
Yeah. So that sucks.
Holy
Kick
shit.
them out. Normalize just being like,
can you leave?
I'm ready to just be home alone. Like, can I call you an Uber?
Right.
I get it's awkward, but like, it's your sacred space.
Better
call the shot.
Better than you sleeping the night through that.
Yeah. Ooh, that's rough. I thought that was such a good story, though.
The fact that he...
Happy birthday, Brittany. Happy birthday, Brittany.
He paused the motion. Made dead eye contact.
Well, okay, it's not even like they were having sex, so he's like on top of her. Like,
right.
He was like looking up at her, like, happy birthday, Brittany. Like, that sucks.
Oh, God. I'm so sorry.
That's rough. Happy birthday, Brittany, though.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Wait,
belated birthday.
She had said it was her birthday that night? Or he just...
Yes, because she was out with family, got absolutely trashed off margaritas, and then went home. Yeah. That one was fun.
Yikes. Okay, next one. First off, I love you guys. Secondly, the story I'm about to tell you still cracks me up after 5 years, but there is a lot of TMI. Sorry in advance. So my freshman year of college, I went into total DTF mode and was just living life. I ended up meeting this guy and we hit it off and I went to his room and got the party started, if you know what I mean.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Get the party
Get
started.
the party started. I ended up giving him a blowy, but was super hesitant about swallowing. No, spitters aren't quitters. Long story short, as he was about to come, I moved my head and his sperm flew into his eye. He screamed in pain and I kind of laughed and he was pissed. I ended up leaving and didn't hear from him for 2 days, and when he finally texted me, he attached a bill of an urgent care visit because he got pink eye from his cum and wanted me to pay for it. I ignored him and eventually we bumped into each other again and he looked at me and asked, "Next time you cause me to visit the ER, I want you to be my nurse." Ha ha ha, I cannot.
Yo.
That's
Fucked up in so many ways. First of all, why the fuck are you gonna send me your bill? I'm sorry.
I hope you didn't pay it.
Yeah, I feel like they would have added that, but
okay, so based on when they met up again and his last comment, "When I visit you in the ER, I want you to be my nurse."
Are you a nurse? I'm assuming, right?
Oh, I thought that was just like a play on like.
Oh, I thought like maybe
like
you're
I
in, like,
want to
med
see
school.
you again, but like in a sexual manner.
Oh. We went two different. I thought she was like being a nurse, like she's about to be a nurse or like is a nurse right now, and he's like
maybe
tying it to like present day terms.
Perhaps
We're reading into it so much.
Right.
This is so much like us. That one's pretty rough, but whatever.
Funny story.
Story. Who cares though? Spitters aren't quitters. If you don't want to solve
The
it,
fact that
it's fine.
he went to urgent care for pink eye.
Yeah, that's.
Please, you sound dramatic.
What's in your sperm? There's obviously a reason she didn't want to swallow it because it probably tasted bad, and then there was something in it that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Because yes, you're right. Spitters aren't quitters because some men aren't hydrated and eat like shit, and that affects the taste of their sperm.
Also,
I'm just gonna say it.
Some men are shooters and some men are oozers.
Like oozers, yeah.
and it makes a fucking difference.
We went through a phase where we would like go through people we know and be like, are they a shooter or oozer? Just like based off their personality, just like no legit reason to come to the conclusion.
But probably
but we're probably right.
98% accuracy.
Yeah, so you're good. That's a funny ass story though.
Right.
Okay, so this is my last one, and it's an entry from a guy. Ooh. Which I love.
I love when we get entries from guys.
Yes. Can we please just say, if every week, first of all, any men listening, what's up? So glad you're listening.
Yay.
I think if you're a man that listens to a podcast like this, you are doing God's work. You are learning all about the shit that girls talk about that guys don't know.
Yeah. Like we're
you're
literally
learning so much.
Laying
We're giving
out the guidelines right now.
Literally. So shout out to you.
Kudos to you.
But if any girls listening every week, if there's a topic that you feel like a man in your life, whether it's dad, brother, boyfriend, whoever, they would have some input, have them send it in. I think it's so cool when we get like male input. So I just want to put that out there, please. Okay, but this is my last one. It's pretty short, but I thought it was just a great story. Oddest hookup story ever. So one night I was at a bar drinking and I started talking with this older woman, like cougar status old, and I ended up having her come home with me and we hooked up. 3 months later, I started dating this girl and she asked me if I'd like to go have dinner with her mom. And guess who her mom was? Yep, the lady I hooked up with at the bar. It was the most awkward encounter I've ever had and more than likely will ever have. You can say my name, it's Mike. Hope you ladies have a lovely day.
Holy shit, Mike.
He pulling that bloodline.
Wait, I want to know how that dinner went.
Yeah, we need a follow-up, Michael, please.
Whoa.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay. Okay, this is my last one. Hi. Okay, I hope I'm not too late. Please let me be anonymous for the story because I'm very ashamed of it. I live in the Netherlands. Once per year, there is the big festival that takes place in February. It's 5 days. I was 15 at the time, so very young. My best friend and I did a contest. Who could hook up with the most boys in 5 days?
Oh my God.
I won.
Nice.
Unfortunately, and then she put in parentheses, unfortunately. I had hooked up with 21 boys in 5 days. My best friend had 19. This was 5 years ago. I'm now 20 years old and living together with my boyfriend, so I ended up really good. My best friend and I still talk a lot about that year and laugh a lot about it, too. Sorry for the long text. I thought it would be funny for the podcast. Love your podcast. Hugs from the Netherlands.
That's crazy.
That's cool. So
that's a fun little thing.
Yeah, but I also saw like a couple other entries that sparked this question in my head. What do you qualify as a hookup?
Very true. Are you asking me?
Yeah, just throwing it out there. I think anything beyond kissing
Yeah.
is qualified as a hookup.
Agreed. I don't know, but when I use the word hookup, I mean sex.
Only? Exclusively?
No, I guess you're right. No, yeah.
Like if I had a guy over and I just gave him a blowjob.
You could be like, yeah, we hooked up.
And you asked me the next morning, I'd be like, yeah, we hooked up.
And then I would be like, sex? And you'd be like, no. So that's all. That's where the clarification comes. It is a big umbrella word to me.
Yeah.
But the follow up is.
But I wouldn't say I hooked up with him if we kissed.
No.
Right. So it's a little beyond kissing.
Yeah, 100% agree. I wonder.
Yeah.
Like, did you sleep with 21 men or
did you have 21 blowies in 5 days? That's a lot.
Oh my god. Sore mouth, TMJ, out the wazoo, 100%. You need a Botox shot in the jaw. We're disgusting. Okay, that was all the entries for today. We hope you guys enjoyed.
Got a lot of good ones.
This week was so fun, and on our drive over, and that is how last minute we are, we were thinking of so many other topics that we didn't touch on regarding just the sex talk, everything sex, and we want to do a part 2 of this. I feel like we've said this a lot of times in other episodes. The topics we choose are generally just big topics that
they're
we can
not
go
going to
on.
be like all wrapped up in a pretty bow and then never talked about again.
Nope. So I think a follow-up sex episode in a few months or a few weeks, whatever, is definitely coming. I think there's so much we didn't touch on.
Yeah. This was fun though.
This was really fun though. This episode, I feel like, made me more comfortable just talking about this shit.
Yeah.
In general. And I feel like it definitely opened up our community with you guys. Like, you guys know some shit now. We know some shit about you now, and I'm cool with it. Yeah. I like it. I think we should totally normalize talking about sex. There was this one comment on episode 21 on a YouTube comment, and it was from someone older, because her narrative was, when I was younger, like, thank you so much, girls, for talking about this. When I was younger, this was not normal to talk about, but everybody was still going through it.
Yeah.
And when you don't talk about something, that's where it can, I mean, it's your safety at the point, because lack of awareness, it's, right. It can go so many negative avenues.
It makes you like feel ashamed of it because it's not talked about.
Right.
When it's the last thing that you should be ashamed of is your sex life.
Absolutely. I think it's something, I mean, it's why we're all here.
Yep.
It's part of the human experience.
Something literally everyone does.
Yep. It's everything. Sex at some point is everything. Even on a business level, sex plays into advertisements. Yeah. Sex plays into so many things within the human experience.
Sex is money.
For real. So normalize talking about it. And that's what we wanted to do with this week's topic. So again, thank you so much to everybody who sent in entries. There were so many we didn't get to, and we read a lot though. I read more than we said today. I was cracking up reading these. So thank you guys again. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, make sure to rate us 5 stars. And if you're listening audio only, come check us out on YouTube. Just one little clip.
We got a really cool TV.
We have a cool TV, lava lamp. We got a Slinky. Just come say hi. Let us know what you think. It's still new to us, so we're excited to share it with you guys. But thank you for listening, watching, whatever you're doing, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Good job.